everyone. Welcome back. Today we are going to be doing some lace repairs on this beautiful gown. So that's what we'll be doing. And I just want to get my tripod going for you. And let me just show you some details and then I'll get you up nice and still. We have to put some darts in the back. And there's a couple of really critical landmarks, I call them, points on the dress that need to be symmetrical, and they're not. So we're going to have to true up a few things. But for the most part, there's more of like a sing-song kind of thing going on with this lace. It's just flowing and looking natural and organic. Hello, Silke. Welcome. So we're not going to necessarily go for perfect symmetry everywhere, but there's a few places that we need to correct that are kind of standing out like a problem. So let me just set you down right here before I put you on my tripod. How is everyone doing? This is January, so we're kind of right in the big middle of everything and really hoping for some spring weather to start heading our way. And perhaps you don't feel that way. Perhaps you live on the other side of the earth. And it's right in the middle of summer for you and you are hot. You just never know. All right, so let's get you on here. I think I've got you ready. You guys are so patient with me on these live streams. I need to have it where I can just click you on. It just doesn't work that way for me. Just not that smooth. Ah, that's lovely. I hope all of you can see well and hear well. This is absolutely lovely. Yes, you're in New York. Just so happy it's not freezing cold as usual. Yes, same. It's the same thing here. It's not like frigid out, and we are definitely grateful for that. So just to do some kind of orientation on this dress, this is the back. I'm going to pick up the whole tripod here. So this is like a low back. This is the back coming up. We're going to put some darts in it. And coming on up here toward the neckline. That's where we're at on this dress. So you can kind of figure out what this dress looks like. It is just a, let me turn it around, let you see the other fabrics. We have just a plain crepe in the front. So we're working on all these things. And these are some of the things that I was saying we need to make sure that they line up. These seams are lining up. The top of this is lining up. So we must have pulled, maybe one shoulder is pulled up higher than the other. Because when the bride puts it on, the darts are not aligned. And when I pull, they do go straight across. So, yeah, so the problem must be up here, which is great. That's so easy to fix. So easy. As usual, you guys can pop some questions in the chat down there. If you're joining me later and I'm no longer live, you can pop some questions in the comments. And I do try to get down there in the comments and mark like where I actually start sewing, the timestamp, because I do kind of linger a little bit when we start just for you guys to get on here. So you can see that we need to do some repairs. That's what we're working on today. We're repairing this beautiful gown and just hand sewing some lace here. My hands are nice and dry, so I'm going to look like I have old lady hands today. But what are you going to do? It's winter, and I can't put lotion on right before I sew, right? All right, here goes this. I really like using invisible thread from a bobbin because, as you guys know, you don't stretch the invisible thread when you wind a bobbin, so it's nice and straight. Can you see that? Nice and straight. It's not doing curly cues as it would if it was just pulled through a tensioner. So I do like to get my invisible thread from there. Now, a dear friend of mine, Pam, taught me this to keep my thread from tangling up. I'm going to take the two ends and put them through the eye. Pull them through. Can you see? I'm going to pull the ends through. Bring them through this loop here. Like that. All right. Now we've got almost like a little knot up here. It really doesn't add bulk to anything. It works just fine. All right. I just fresh put some organic chapstick on my lips and I just pulled it across there to wax it. I'm not eating and getting stuff all over it. It's literally just the wax. If you want to pull it across a disc of wax, go ahead and do that. But I do use chapstick a lot of times. I did actually stop that during the height of COVID, which was really different. It's kind of time consuming, but anyhow, you can see how straight this is working now. It's got lots of its own stiffness going on. So let's just sew this down. Now the way I sew my lace down is I kind of go around the outline of the flower and anything kind of peeking out, little peaky edges, I'm going to grab them. All right, so this is what we are doing today. We are repairing lace on this dress. I think I can live stream today until about 2:45. I have an appointment. They had to make it at 3, so I'll have to leave. But I have an appointment for my dog. If any of you have any advice, he is a Grand Royal Standard Poodle. So that means he's kind of like the highest class of weight and height. He's massive, massive, okay? More like having an Irish Wolfhound. We had no idea he was going to be that big, but here we are. He's so big. And he gets ear infections all the time. He's only a year and a half old, so I'm sure, it's probably partly a puppy thing. But I'm so worried for him. I hope he outgrows them. He's starting to get one. And so his behavior changes a little bit. He gets a little more mouthy and irritable. He can't really self-soothe. He just really changes. He acts like a different dog, really testy. And of course he doesn't want you to scratch his ears, which he normally loves being scratched behind the ears, but not when he's hurting. So I'm taking him back to the vet. See if they can do anything before it gets super bad. He's actually had to be put under before to get his ears cleaned out and restored, and they put like a gel, like an antibiotic gel down in their ears that works for like a week or something. They had to do all that for him. He was in so much pain. But this time, hopefully we're catching it early. But anyways, here's the advice part. Do any of you have dogs with long ear canals like that? And it's the weirdest thing. When you look in his ears, there's fur just like the rest of his body. It's not like normal, like little bit of ear whiskers the groomer can pluck out. It's like full on fur. His ears on the inside are furry. So as you can imagine, that just causes all sorts of trouble for the poor fella. So we'll see what the vet says, but I also wanted to see if you guys knew of anything. He's on, as far as diet goes, because I know somebody will mention that. We feed him really good food. He's a service dog for my son. He's a diabetic alert dog. So we feed him very good food so that we can extend the number of years that he can work. And we also have him on like supplements and stuff, like joint supplements, just because he's a giant breed, you know. They always struggle with their joints, and we don't want that for him. So, yeah, if you guys have any recommendations, let me know. I need to have him on here someday for the live stream, don't I? You guys need to meet him. He is so pretty, but everybody feels that way. Everybody feels that way about their own little doggo, huh? All right, so we're on our, whoops, only one went through. We're on our second thread. Why am I struggling so bad? Okay. So this one, I don't know if you guys saw that, but I did a knot, and then I traveled over on the underside for a little bit and came up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this knot attach to that last tail. I do like multiple layers of knotting when I'm dealing with invisible thread. All right, so I'm going to pull this through most of the way. And I'm going to kind of lock it by putting my needle through the two strands. Just like that. Goodness. I don't know if I have enough tail here. Let me see. Yes. There's enough tail on that thread. All right. So we've got that knotted a couple of times. Now, for this lovely mess. You guys know, can't live with it, can't live without it. Look at this mess. This is how I do. You guys ask me all the time, how do you deal with that mess that it makes? Well, if you peel it back, you'll start to have some fresh bubble come out the tip. So it's only the tip touching this knot. Okay. All this was out of the picture. Now what I'm going to do is clear that off. And then I pull this. It is stuck. Comes off pretty clean though. There we go. There we go. Now we're going to do this. Put that back on. Try to push it all the way down so that hopefully it'll do a little bit better this time. But that's that hypo cement that I use to seal my knots. And now I have this. No big deal. I just kind of roll it off, and it's drying as I'm working with it. So it's getting easier and easier to roll off of my fingers. Just do this, and it just comes right off. Just throw it in the trash. So that's how I deal with that. I get messages about that all the time. It's so funny. But I guess people are probably wondering, is there some neat little easy sneaky way without dealing with that mess? And I haven't found one. Somebody did tell me like to store it like top side up. I haven't found that really helps anything, because it's kind of under the pressure of that metal squeezing. So anyhow, we're going to let that dry for a minute. And I'm just going to come back through here and get all these spots. And then after that dries, just for a minute, it doesn't take long. Kind of smells like acetone. So you can tell when it's dry, the smell goes away. Once that's gone, I'm going to trim those tails there. Somebody might say, well, why does it cost so much to do lace repair? Well, look at how long it takes. All right, so this one, I'm just going to do 3 knots. I have plenty of thread, and I'm done with this little area, so there's not anything I'm going to try to connect to. So I'm going to hide the tail like maybe an inch. Okay, there's that. And then I'm going to go back and snip these. I'm getting ready to look at the comments, so if you have a question, put that in there. This obviously will need to be pressed. And there's kind of like a miscolored thread right here. I'm going to pull that out. There's another one right there. You guys, if any of you are going to be part of my wedding gown cleaning and boxing course, let me know in the comments if you're going to be there. So excited. It's a drip course, which means it starts on Monday and it goes for 4 weeks. And every Monday I'll drip that week's content. So you work at your own pace. You can't work ahead, but you can work at your own pace. The cool thing is, if you're like, this month is just too crazy, the information is going to stay up there on that course for 2 years. You have to complete it. So that's cool. But the sooner you complete it, the sooner you start making killer money cleaning and boxing gowns, right? No special machinery required. And it includes access to a private Discord server that I have just for cleaning and boxing gowns. So everybody else in there will have received some training on it. And we're all going to be sharing pictures. And if you have a question or a problem or something, you can post pictures in there and be like, how do I clean this one? And I'm in that group. So it's going to be like lots of long-term hand-holding. So that should give you the confidence you need, because not only did you learn the skill, but if you're kind of nervous and be like, oh, is this the right solution for this dress? We'll just bounce it off of us and we'll let you know. So I'm super excited to finally have this. I know a lot of you have been waiting anxiously with bated breath to be able to offer this. So that's super cool that we have that now. What was the other thing I was going to say? Oh, it's on sale right now, $25 off. Just through tonight at like 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So there's a coupon code. So if you go to bridalsewing.com and go to the blog, go to my blog page. It's my most recent post. I dropped all my virtual retreat dates for the year, guys. So if you want to plan on that, that's also in that blog post. I just remembered. So check that out. And then links to that and the coupon code is all in that blog post. So that's cool. Super cool. I finally got those things done. I've been talking about it for years. You guys have been emailing me about it for years. So here we go. Yep, $25 off through tonight. But the course is only $200, which is like pretty much, I charge over $200 just to clean and box one gown. So that is a steal. You'll be making really good money off of that. So if you have any questions about that course, also you can put them in the comments because I'm getting ready to look. What is the deal with this? Look at the dark thread. Let me show you. There's more of it. I think somebody did some basting repairs with some non-matching thread because look how lightly it's put on. I think that's what's going on. So let's get this sewn down thoroughly, solidly, and then we'll snip out that darker thread. Every dress has a history, doesn't it? I get dresses all the time that has like some kind of story behind it. And this one you can tell it does. I think it was a sample gown because it's got stuff going on everywhere, doesn't it? Definitely needs some TLC. So that's what I'm here for. Also, just for fun, because these are like sew with me. You know how the format goes. We're not trying to like give you a whole lesson in 5 minutes. That's a very short tail. I shouldn't have done it that short. This is sew with me. So just put in the comments if you have a dog. And what breed is it? I'd love to know. Oh, that's my original tail. I pulled out a stitch. And then if I could get this other one to come back through. Yeah, there we go. I don't know if you saw that, but that's so cool. So I've got my original tail met up with my final tail. And then I can knot them together. That's always like ideal. Whenever I have like a lace spot that I can do kind of in a circular way like that, I like to do that. But you never know. Sometimes you play chicken with the thread length and you lose. Here we go again. Hey, people that make hypo cement. We love the needle accuracy of the applicator. But can we do something else here? Oh, man. All right, so we'll have these to trim. And then we've got this non-matching stitch here. It's funny because in some places it looks light ivory. And then in other places it looks gray. I'm wondering if the thread was dirty. It could have just had some dirty segments to it. All right, I'm going to check the comments while that dries. You tell me if you've got a sweet little dog and what the breed is, because I want to know. And then drop your questions in there, even questions about the upcoming course if you have it. And then as far as the, what was I going to say? As far as the virtual retreats go, there's a mini retreat in February. You guys have been asking for, I don't understand. Oh, here we go. Finally, the comments weren't coming through. You guys have been asking for a mini retreat because last time I did it a full solid work week and it was higher priced and all that. Well, we're doing a 2-day one in February. The dates again are on my blog. So if you go to www.bridalsewing.com and click on blog, the most recent post is going to have the dates for the cleaning and box preservation course starts on Monday. The 2-day retreat is in February. There's another 2-day retreat in July, and then I'm doing another of the 5-day, the work week long retreat in the fall. So all those dates are dropped there for you. All right, let's see. Lori, bestie, you got it, girl. She's been trying to get on here with us for the live stream, and she made it today. So glad to see you on here, Lori. And then Naomi, good morning, BST bestie. Maria, hello, my newfound friend. I was able to download all the books today. That's awesome. I hope you enjoy that workbook. So I have for those of you that aren't familiar with what she's talking about, I have my book in two different forms. I have just the book that you could read almost like an e-reader. You can just download it on your phone and read it on your phone. And then I have the workbook version that's formatted for just a basic paper size, 8.5 by 11. And you print them out and put them in a binder. And there's like actionable journaling and listing activities and stuff to do. I personally prefer the workbook. If you guys are not feeling it to buy both of them and you only want to buy one, I would get the workbook. It's only $14.99 and it will get you well on your way to starting your business. It is very, very helpful. So that's what she's talking about there. As always, guys, you don't have to buy anything. You don't have to sign up for anything. You can just hang out with me on here. If ever you have questions, you drop them in the comments or you DM me. I'm happy to help you. You don't have to be paying me for help. I still upload free stuff all the time here on YouTube. So, Naomi, have you ever tried Seams hand cream? I haven't, but just curious if you've heard of it. It's supposed to be non-greasy. So the way that it's spelled Seams, Naomi, it sounds like it's made for sewing, huh? I'll have to look. Maria, do you have a favorite place to get lace or wedding applique? Yes, so I do, and I have a video on that. If you search my library, if you just look up lace suppliers, fabric suppliers, I do have all of that listed. A lot of my lace, if I need to find like little appliques like this that just kind of match whatever is going on in manufacturing right now, isn't this a dream? This is from Etsy and it comes straight from China. So it does match a lot of the mass manufactured gowns right now. And I don't have one supplier for that. I literally just go through and fresh search. But there are lace suppliers where you can get finer laces, and if you have more time, they can usually perfectly match some lace as well. So check that out in my videos. Bridalfabrics.com is a great one as well. She sells lots of lace. And I did like a recorded Zoom with her, and that's super exciting to watch, guys. If you're a fabric and lace junkie like me, that was a very nice Zoom meeting that I had. So yeah, search fabric and lace on my YouTube channel and you'll find it. Okay, so Cynthia is asking, what needle am I using? I'm using my size 1. This is linked to on the products page of my website. I have like all of my favorite needles. I think this is like Richard Hemmings and Son or something, size 1. And I just find it so easy to use. It's got that large eye. It's nice and long and strong. A lot of people would just bend a beading needle. I don't know if you guys saw my reel that I did the other day about that. A lot of people would bend a beading needle and do that. That works great as well. I just don't feel like struggling with the small eye when it's so easy to go ahead and run a full-size needle through this. All right, so let's see. Okay, Mariah Devons, hello. I have a toy poodle and she used to have a lot of issues. Yep, have your groomer pluck his ears when you get him groomed and keep his ears dry and clean. Yes, so that's what we try to do. The groomer tries to pluck. What's so sad is I was saying, inside his ears, it's not just the normal amount of like, well, he kind of has hairy ears. It's like fur in there. And so it's starting to get where it's almost like traumatic for him when they do that. So we're trying to find alternatives. Like, can she just buzz right at his ear, which he doesn't mind that. It's the plucking. It's just so much that it really hurts him now. So she's trying to see if she can buzz it where it's short at the surface of the ear canal, and if there's any way we can get drops or something down there. I don't know. So I'm going to ask the vet about it today. The other thing is, I might have to just start having him get his ears plucked like every other week. That's expensive. But we might just have to do that until he grows up to be an adult, because their ear canal, it does get a little bit bigger after they grow up, So, yes, I'm definitely going to look into more about what else can we do with the plucking. It's so sad. Julie, yes, I'd love to see your dog. I'm sorry he's having trouble with ear infections. Guys, I might, after I get off of here and get done with his appointment, I might will just post to Instagram and then just post like members only on YouTube because I don't really want to put it on all of YouTube. YouTube will be confused if I start posting dog pictures. But I might put it in my Instagram stories after this and maybe in members. I'll members only. I'll do a picture of him. He's so stinking pretty. I love him. You know how they have that royal look to them. They're so pretty. Let's see. Da, 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 Maria, yes, bring the pup on live. I had a golden with ear issues. Diet was important, but he always had to have them cleaned at the vet. Okay. We had stuff put in and it foamed out the junk. Okay. So you had to have yours regularly cleaned at the vet. How often? That's so interesting. Okay, Lori, how do you like the fabric hypo cement? Lori, I have never tried it. That's a good question. I've only tried the jewelry because it has that needle point precision. Is that how the fabric is as well? And does it maybe stay in the container better? Just give us all the scoop on that, please. Since you sound familiar, either that or maybe you've just seen it and you're asking about it. Lori says, I will be in on that gown cleaning course. So excited. That's awesome. So, Lori was with me on my retreat this past fall. So that was super cool. We all got to like meet each other, like on Zoom and talk and whatever. It was an amazing experience. But this is actually going to be more of like a course than a retreat. So just for those of you who are asking about the format of it, I had somebody message me about that. It's going to be more like lecture style with slides, video instruction, modules. It's like a true online course. The retreats are more like I do a live stream every morning going over the lessons of the day, and then we do a couple of Zoom sessions in the afternoon going back over it and taking Q&As, and then we do like private small breakout Zooms. So with the retreat, you're looking at probably a total of like at least 6 hours of instruction a day and communication a day. It's intense. And then, like I said, the course is not as intense because you get to do it at your own pace. You can, if you want to blow through it in a few weeks, after they've all dripped out, you can, or if you want to take your time and do it 6 months, you can. Mariah, can you use E6000 glue to do the same thing? I've actually have heard of people doing that. And what they do is they just kind of like have a little dot of it somewhere like on a plastic dish and they use a toothpick and just touch it. So yes, I have seen people do that. I just happen to use the hypo cement. Let's see. One Way Designs, very beautiful work. I used to do a lot of bridal work. I don't know what happened. I still enjoy doing bridal work. Okay, so One Way, if you want to consult with me about how we can kind of turn the ship to start getting more bridal work again, I'd love to help you figure that out. Otherwise, some people, you may just be like, no, I just do what comes to me. It's fine. If you're in that camp, you just enjoy what you're doing and just trust that what you're doing is perfect for you right now. But yeah, it's kind of like, you know how it is, work begets work, right? So whatever you're doing, people talk about it and they bring you more of it. Okay, Julie, do you do a lot of hand repair on the lace or just where you can't get under the machine needle? Um, Half and half. So, this mesh has a lot of stretch. And so I didn't want to do machine on this. Once I get near the edge, where it has less stretch, I won't mind it being on the machine. Just one moment. I just had a call. Let me just respond real quick. Whew. Okay. I came running. Like shook the camera. Remember, this is a porch room. So if I run across here, it's like an earthquake. Oh, all right, let's look at these comments. And then, like I said, I need to respond to this text here. Let's see. Text me on here. Okay, there we go. Let's see. Let's see. Another thing I need to do, since you guys are going to be checking out my blog, I need to fresh post my Discord link. If you guys are not a part of Discord, you need to be a part of Discord. It is free and it's amazing, and everybody on there is a very kind BST bestie. And you can share questions and celebrations and sourcing and all kinds of stuff. It's an amazing community just of BST besties. It's on the Discord app. It's wonderful. So I'll add that to the blog post as soon as I stop off of the live. Let's see. Belinda Broussard, I assume the course info is on your website. Yes. So go to bridalsewing.com and go to blog, and it's my latest post. It's got the link with the coupon code, guys. Don't forget. This is why I mentioned it so hard today. The coupon code ends tonight. Okay, it's 2:30 p.m. where I'm at right now. It ends at 11:30 p.m. Okay, so in 9 hours the coupon code ends. It's $25 off. It's pretty significant. So go grab that as soon as we get done with the live stream here. Claudia, hi everybody. I'm Claudia from Florence, Italy. Welcome, Claudia. How awesome. It's so cool to have you from Italy. Lori, hello, Claudia. Welcome. Silke, BST Bestie. Need to add a waist day and heavier boning to a wedding gown for a larger bride. Yes, this is a common deal to have to do that. Any tips on positioning of the waist day? Into side seam only, just above the waist, and the brand of boning and positioning to keep bust forward? Oh, that's such a good question. And I want to sketch that answer. Okay? Let me get my sketch. All right, so the way I do this exact issue that comes up all the time, what she's saying is where to attach this elastic. So, okay, let's pretend like we're looking in the back of a dress. Okay. There's our dress. So we've got it unzipped and open. And this is what I do for the girls that need more support. I do not attach the elastic right here. It normally comes from the manufacturer attached right above the waist seam. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out where her natural waist is, because a lot of times as you gain weight, your waist goes up. So her waist might be more like here. Okay. If that's where it is, I always just open up the side seams and take these elastics out. Let's see. I open it up and I'm going to want the elastic kind of on the same plane as where her waist is, where the smallest part of her waist is, okay? So you may not have to raise it up. She might be long-waisted. It's fine. But as far as how far up in the bodice am I going to put it, I'm going to make sure that the center of the elastic, say you've got a 3-inch wide elastic, I'm going to make sure that corresponds with her waist, okay? Sometimes I do sew it in the side seams. If I'm adding extra boning and we're having a problem with the front of her dress not being flattering enough, a lot of times you get that with plus size brides. You're raising the waist a little bit and they want this to cut in a little bit and say, here's my waist. If you keep the waist long, they lose so much of that curvature that they're used to seeing. So let this out a little bit if you have to. Put a notch in the waist wherever you need to. And then what I would do is if I'm having to add boning, I put the boning here. I add the boning another layer. I just stack it right on top of the original boning inside of there. Add it here. This is usually adequate. The pieces right here are usually adequate, okay? But I would add it there and there. You can even sometimes add a few just right here, okay? Then I would attach the belt right here, okay? So these bones, you now have twice the strength, right? Because they're stacked. And I've got it on level with where her natural waist is. And the elastic is going to come through like this, okay? So you're going to want to do your loop for it to go through. Going to move that up to where it tracks right through. All right. And then remember, this is kind of like a hook and loop bra closure. I hope you guys all know what we're talking about. That right there, that's the ticket. What a wonderful question. Thank you so much. Guys, this is exactly what I'm talking about when I say Q&A, and I'm happy to sketch for you. I love doing this. And I think it was Silke that asked that question. You just helped so many people because there's probably people that didn't even know that they needed to know that. And now they're like, yay, I've got a new idea. So that's cool. Okay, Silke, yes, German Shepherd show line. Wow. She's got a pretty dog. Shelly has a mini schnauzer. That's awesome. Lori has 2 calico kitties, but no pups. Calico cats are so beautiful. And then I learned something a few years ago that calicos are always girls. Is that what you're experiencing? Are yours both girls? Have any of you ever seen a boy calico? I saw that it was something like genetic. It has something to do with the chromosomes or something. We have an outdoor kitty. She's the sweetest kitty ever. I'm allergic to kitties, so we don't have them indoor, but I do love them. Sydney, a 3-year-old Maltese Shih Tzu mix. Woo, that's a mouthful. That is a pretty little dog, though, I bet. She's my daughter's best friend. That's so sweet. Julie, a pug and a chug. Half Chihuahua, half pug. That's so cute. Love them, but they aren't hypoallergenic like your poodle, so they're not allowed in my studio. Yes. Jacqueline's own. Hello. Well, we've been going for a little bit, and I do have to get off soon, but I'm glad you were able to join us, Jacqueline's own. Angie Gregory, BST Bestie, do you share your pricing anywhere? I can't remember if you were in the retreat or not. I do. I do, like in retreats, I share everything pretty much because we sign NDAs, the non-disclosure agreement. So that's the cool thing about the retreat. Everybody in the retreat signs an NDA. So you can all talk about everything, money and whatever, location, anything. You don't have to be creeped out by like, is this going to get on the internet, you know? And then if I do a consult with somebody, we sign an NDA. And it doesn't even have to be an hour long. You could do a half hour if you want. And I'm happy to tell you what I charge for stuff. I'll just walk through the store and say, I charge this and that and this and that, and show you the work orders and everything. So as long as we have privacy and I'm not just like putting people's information out on the internet, I am happy to share that, Angie. If any of you guys need that, you let me know. Aqua, hi, watching from Ghana. Wow, welcome from Ghana. So good to have you. Um, okay, Lori says fabric is the same, hypo cement, but I have both and prefer the fabric one. Okay. Same tip, oozes as well. Let us know why you prefer that, Lori. That would be so good to know. Kim Savage, been waiting for you since the pandemic. Thanks for the live chat. You have always had great, honest content. Thank you so much, Kim. That was one of my big goals when I started a channel was I wasn't going to have it like fake. You know what I mean? Like I want it to be pretty. As you guys know, I've been working on my sewing space, trying to get it prettier and more aesthetic. There's a difference between having aesthetic and being fake, you know? I want the real deal, guys. You're getting it here. So I'm glad you like that. Let's see. Lori, retreat is awesome and you make so many dear friends as a perk. It's true, guys. Because after the retreat, you all still have your Discord server or your channel. So all the people that were on the retreat, they still chat every day on there. So it's super cool and they're growing their businesses alongside each other. It's awesome. Let's see. Maria, Brenda, after you press the materials, does the cement melt or the plastic thread melt? No. I've never had the cement melt or transfer or degrade. And I've never had the that thread melt either. I use Clear Lawn thread. Let's see, is it Tex 8? 12 ounce. Tex 8 Clear Lawn. Yeah, is what I use. And it never melts, but I have my iron set to nylon. Belinda purchased the cleaning course. That's awesome. So Silke, the waist stay attached to boning lining only. Yes, that's right. Lori says, yes, they're both girls, those calicos. So Angie was not in on the retreat. Well, reach out to me, Angie, if you want that information. We can connect. Okay. Lori, the fabric cement just seems more secure and drives much quicker. Okay. That's cool to know. Deadlifts for days. Hi, I would like to learn how to do an illusion neckline, possibly illusion long sleeves as well. Does anybody know where I can learn these techniques? I have got to go because it's time to go to the vet, but deadlifts for days, I just did a video on that, working with mesh. So just go to my catalog and look that up. You can look up the word illusion, you can look up mesh, and you can also look up sleeves. I have done videos on all of that. So it is your lucky day. Welcome, and I hope you find everything in those videos. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'm always very active in my comments, okay? So you're not alone. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. Take care. Bye.